freedom writers. It's a story of young kids making themselves better, and it goes to show that your upbringing shouldn't determine how you grow up.
I thought it was excellent, really good. I really sat on it.
Harry Potter Deathly Hallows, Part 2.
Probably The Proposal.
The Princess Bride.
Probably The Creep.
It's Beetlejuice.
Hide and Seek.
Top of my head, Moulin Rouge.
21 Jump Street.
Sucker Punch, because it wasn't what I expected. It was quite boring actually, and it was really repetitive.
That one I didn't like. The one with Jude Law and remember that film we watched for Stephanie's birthday party? Should I write it?
Side Effect!
Side Effect.
Cocktail. Is it Cocktail or with what's his name, Tom Cruise?
The Hole. Any of those awful spoof movies, any of those awful scary movies.
Is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Not that I've watched it.
Definitely, because if it's not interesting, it'll improve later on, so we can't determine it by the first 2 minutes, but a good start normally means a good movie.
Yeah, it tells me whether or not I want to watch it.
It sets the scene, especially with a thriller, which is, something dramatic's going to happen, which
Really significant.
Yeah, really important, because that's what hooks me onto the film.
Yeah, because they kind of, I think from the first 2 to 10 minutes you can tell whether it's going to be a good film.
Yes, essential. Essential.
yes, definitely, because they set up the kind of the mood of the film.
If it's a good film, yes, because good films usually start with the ending and then work their way to the ending.
Probably mystery.
I like action films because they're interesting and exciting.
Oh dear, I like a thriller because I like sitting on the edge of my seat thinking, oh gosh, what's going to happen, what's going to happen, what's going to happen? Yeah, that's fine.
Which genre is fantasy? It's just the whole excitement of it, where there's like this whole world where it doesn't exist. I think it's the fact that like you go into a reality that isn't like our own.
No!
Horror thrillers. They're fun and jumpy.
Because the plot lines are usually really interesting and they can be quite believable. Thriller. Ones that make me think. Ones that are very clever in their scripting and their storyline. It's got to have a brilliant narrative. If it's not got a good story, it's not believable, I switch off.
Horror because it's quite entertaining and the storylines are always different and they always shock you and it's more unpredictable if it's a good horror film.
It is thrillers because they intrigue me the most.
Like psychological thrillers and action movies, like The Sopranos and stuff like that, because they really interest you and it kind of helps you to take a insight into some of the people around the world.
Horror? They give you nightmares?
Yeah, westerns.
Classical and oh god, you know those ones where they're like really boring, where they're just constantly like biographies basically.
Movie genre?
Horror, because sometimes I find storylines are not exactly that believable. So, parody, this because I don't think they're clever at all. I think they're cheating. They're an easy way to mock things.
I'd probably say romance because it's always, well, most of the time it's really cliche. I don't like that.
For our romantic comedies.
Sci-fi films like Star Wars and stuff like that. I can't stand them.
I don't know. Sci-fi probably.
Good actors, really enticing actors, really interesting, believable storyline, and nice, interesting scenery.
Good story, and I like good photography as well.
The beginning, the opening, it's got to engage you, it's got to have a hook. The cinematography's got to be good, the way it looks. If it's not been edited right, because of teaching media, I hate it. And ending, it's got to have a great ending. It's got to leave me thinking, yes, that was a fabulous film.
Unpredictability, entertainment and shock value.
Superficial to say cast members, but sometimes that plays a big part who's going to be in the film. But I would put that as the third most popular thing for me to be looking for. The first would be, I suppose, the genre, and the second most important would be the setting, and then the third would be who's in it.
For a good storyline, good looking guy, and something that makes you think into it rather than it just being a chick flick when you know what's going to happen in the end.
Good characters,